Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at common table expressions, one of the most powerful ways we can work with subqueries using SQL. So why are we doing this? Well, you may have noticed in some of the questions on your assignments that sometimes you need to use the same data in multiple spots inside your clauses across your query. So you've got like, oh, I've got to have this query information over here I need, I have the query over information here I need, and I can just rewrite that query multiple times. But there's this whole thing about, we have computers to cut down the work, and hey, why don't I just use a variable for that? Well, that's where a common table expression or CTE comes into play, and so we can really use this. I also call them named queries, and it's a great way to actually make it so I can define information once and then use it multiple times throughout my query, and so it's called a common table expression. So the syntax for a CTE is pretty easy. First, you need to figure out the query that you want to write. I know, crazy. Then, before you add the query, add the keyword with and a variable with a name reference to the query you just wrote. And you want to, of course, use good naming conventions. And you'll probably want to alias this as well so don't make it just short. You have to actually come back to it and use it again. And then the keyword as, and then parens around your subquery you're actually going to be working with, and then the query that references the CTE. And you also, of course, because you're going to be using this multiple times, you definitely want to make sure you include a valid PK-FK relationship for the join on sequence. So you can actually talk to this throughout your actual query. So here we have an example of some CTE usage with my named query as, and I have select and then tab.primary field, tab.needed field, from.other needed, from table name tab, join other table other on other.foreign key equals tab.primary field. For my common table expression, I have that defined right there, so I can reference that value multiple times inside one project. And then in my rest of my query, I have select and then data.field name, name.needed field, from data source data, join named query named. And so there's my reference to my CTE or my common table expression on my data ID equals name.primary field. So again, that referencing that as well. And then where data my stuff equals, then I'm going to select max from refer.other needed as big data from named query refer. So I'm aliasing it yet again and using that value in the where clause as a subquery as well as in a join right there. So I can use this multiple times. And so a common table expression really makes it so you can do complex references to multiple data sets in a very, very, very helpful way. And so I highly recommend that you use common table expressions to solve complex problems. But wait, there's more. Common table expressions are stackable, so do I use the with clause again? No, I don't. I just append a comma after the parens of my first named CTE, and then I do another variable name and as, and then the parens and the subquery I'm going to work with again, so I can use that new definition and have it referenced inside my actual structure. So let's take a look at that really quick. So a stack CTE usage, I collapse the queries out so we don't have to actually see the information again. They're just generated to show the structure of this right here. So with named query as, and then parens and a comma, and other CTE example as, and then parens, and then another set of information for a query with that. And you can see I've got my named query refer right there for the CTE reference 1 in pink, and then other CTE example, my other named query or CTE in there right there. So I can stack those up as many as I need to, and so I can do some really powerful references to subqueries inside this by using the named query style or a common table expression to make it so I can do more results with an information. I highly encourage you to practice this and use it inside your subqueries. It makes your queries easier to understand and also better to reproduce for bigger projects. I hope this is helpful. Cheers. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.